My great-grandfather bought Cowdray House in 1909, and my grandfather was the first to introduce the polo to the estate after he developed an interest in the sport while at Oxford. And he came back here, persuaded his father to put in the house ground, and then that followed with the river ground a few years later.
When I first started polo, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a professional polo player. I was invited up to Cowdray by a great friend of mine, Phil Rhodes, and was introduced to the great game here, and then supported tremendously by Lord Cowdray.
How I got into polo is one afternoon I was driving near Windsor in an old van. I was broke, I had no money, which is not new. And I was driving there and I saw polo and I went to watch the game and I saw this marvellous game of everyone shouting at one another. I thought, this is the game for me. Trust those bastards to keep it to themselves.
They'd played mainly amongst family and friends initially at Cowdray, and the only competitive element of the sport was really during Goodwood Week, when people used to come back from the Goodwood races and come and watch the more competitive sport here at Cowdray.
Polo before the war, certainly the girls didn't play except for girls' polo.
No.
And my big sisters, most of them all played girls' polo.
Yeah.
There certainly weren't very many girls playing when I first became a member at Cowdray, because I think there were 2 or 3 other female members, and Charles said that I was bringing the game into disrepute by wanting to be a member at Cowdray.
Tramontana, here's the Cowdray side. Where does it fall?
I remember the first match, and Alan came across and said, you have to change shirts. I said, well, I had these specially designed. I don't want to change them. They're completely different. No. You don't understand, David. If you don't change them, the umpire doesn't like them. But he's very strange, the umpire. He'll throw himself off the horse and have a fit. That was a chap called Hugo Vivian Smith, I think. And I thought, well, that's a bit odd anyway. We did change, and that night I think I was at a cocktail party, and I met Charles Roberts, and I phoned Alan up and I said, look, this is I've met 2 members so far, and I don't think I'm going to survive at this club.
Lord Cowdray would probably come down on a Sunday morning, and Mr. Freeborn or Mr. Woodcock will go around all the ponies with him. Generally just these stables here, the top ones. Yeah, he'd just like to see how things were going on. I won't hear a word against him. Oh, I think he was the best, absolutely.
It was amazing how Lord Cowdray continued to ride and to umpire well into his 70s. And after he finished riding and umpiring, I continued to look after Charles's horses. And the amazing thing is now that both her children, George and Corinthia, are very, very, very keen on polo and well into it.
I've started playing chuckers this year, and then next year I hope to start playing in tournaments and stuff, which George has already started. So.
I've been playing for about 3 years in adult tournaments, but I never actually got to meet my grandfather, but I hope he'd sort of like what I'm doing.
I was lucky enough to play with Cowdray Park in the Gold Cup for 3 or 4 years. It was a great honour for me.
This is my 26th Gold Cup, and I won it 10 times, and I played 12 finals, 18 semi-finals.
By Carlos Cressida, the master, 10 goals.
The Gold Cup is the biggest tournament in the world. You have Palermo that is not professional, it's only the 40 gold polo, and the level is higher, but professionally speaking, this is the number 1 in the world.
The whole sport has grown, it's just got bigger and bigger. Right now we're out there enjoying the party tonight is several players that will have benefited from Lord Cowdray.
These are better than any club in America, so you're talking about the best in the world.
I know my father got to 3 goals, but I hope that I can maybe surpass that.
It sounds as though there was a huge amount of fun and entertaining and partying around Goodwood Week. When did you start being part of that, and what do you remember about it?
Carol.